Sir, over to you.
थैंक यू रंदीप। नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून, आप सबका स्वागत है। और मैं सबसे पहले अनुरोध करूंगा कर्नल सोफिया कुरैशी से कि वो आपको आज तड़के सवेरे से हुई घटनाओं से अवगत कराएं। कर्नल कुरैशी।
थैंक यू सर। नमस्कार। 8 से 9 मई 2025 की मध्य रात्रि को पाकिस्तानी सेना ने सैन्य बुनियादी ढांचे को निशाना बनाने के इरादे से पूरी पश्चिमी सेना पर भारतीय वायु क्षेत्र का कई बार उल्लंघन किया। यही नहीं बल्कि पाकिस्तानी सेना ने नियंत्रण रेखा पर भारी कैलिबर वाले हथियारों से गोलीबारी भी की। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा और नियंत्रण रेखा पर लेह से लेकर सरक्रीक तक 36 स्थानों पर 300 से 400 लगभग ड्रोनों का इस्तेमाल घुसपैठ का प्रयास करने के लिए किया गया। भारतीय सशस्त्र बलों ने काइनेटिक्स व नॉन काइनेटिक साधनों का उपयोग करके इनमें से कई ड्रोन्स को मार गिराया। इतने बड़े पैमाने पर हवाई घुसपैठों का संभावित उद्देश्य वायु रक्षा प्रणालियों का परीक्षण करना और खुफिया जानकारी इकट्ठा करना था। ड्रोन के मलबे की फोरेंसिक जांच की जा रही है। प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट्स से पता चलता है कि वे तुर्की के असीस गार्ड सोंगर ड्रोन्स हैं। इसके उपरांत रात में पाकिस्तान के एक सशस्त्र यूएवी ने भटिंडा सैन्य स्टेशन को निशाना बनाने की कोशिश भी की, जिसे पकड़ा गया और उसे निष्क्रिय कर दिया गया। पाकिस्तानी हमले के जवाब में पाकिस्तान में 4 हवाई रक्षा स्थलों पर सशस्त्र ड्रोन्स लॉन्च किए गए। इनमें से एक ड्रोन एडी रडार को नष्ट करने में सक्षम रहा। पाकिस्तान ने जम्मू कश्मीर के तंगधार, उरी, पुंछ, मेंढर, राजौरी, अखनूर और उधमपुर में भारी कैलिबर आर्टिलरी गन और सशस्त्र ड्रोन्स का उपयोग करके नियंत्रण रेखा के पार गोलीबारी भी की, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप भारतीय सेना के कुछ जवान हताहत हुए और घायल हुए। भारतीय जवाबी कार्रवाई में पाकिस्तानी सेना को भी बड़ा नुकसान पहुंचाया गया। इसके अलावा पाकिस्तान का गैर जिम्मेदाराना व्यवहार फिर से सामने आया। 7 मई 2025 को रात 8:30 बजे एक असफल अकारण ड्रोन और मिसाइल हमला करने के बावजूद पाकिस्तान ने अपना नागरिक हवाई क्षेत्र बंद नहीं किया। पाकिस्तान अपने नागरिक विमानों को ढाल के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर रहा है, जबकि उसे अच्छी तरह से पता है कि भारत पर उसके हमले से हवाई रक्षा की तीव्र प्रतिक्रिया होगी। यह भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा के पास उड़ान भरने वाले अंतर्राष्ट्रीय उड़ानों सहित नागरिक विमानों के लिए सुरक्षित नहीं है। यहाँ स्क्रीन शॉट में पंजाब सेक्टर में हाई एयर डिफेंस अलर्ट स्थिति के दौरान एप्लीकेशन फ्लाइट रडार 24 का डेटा दिखाया गया है। जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर भारतीय पक्ष का हवाई क्षेत्र घोषित बंद के कारण नागरिक हवाई यातायात से पूरी तरह से रहित है। कराची और लाहौर के बीच के हवाई अड्डे मार्ग पर नागरिक एयरलाइंस उड़ान भर रही है। हाई अलर्ट किया गया है विमान फ्लाइनेस एविएशन का एयरबस 320, जैसा कि आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं, जो कि शाम को 5:50 दमम से शुरू हुआ और रात को 9:10 लाहौर में उतरा। ये सारा डिटेल्स आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं, ये डिटेल्स यहाँ लिखा हुआ है। कैन यू सी दिस? भारतीय वायुसेना ने अपनी प्रतिक्रिया में काफी संयम दिखाया और इस प्रकार अंतरराष्ट्रीय नागरिक विमान सेवा की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित की। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
So, good afternoon to you all. On the intervening night of 8-9 May 2025, Pakistan military carried out multiple violations of Indian airspace along the entire western border with an intent to target military infrastructure. Pakistan military also resorted to firing of heavy caliber weapons along the line of control. Along the international border and line of control, drone intrusions were attempted from Leh to Sir Creek at 36 locations with approximately 300 to 400 drones. Indian Armed Forces brought down a number of these drones using kinetic and non-kinetic means. The possible purpose of these large-scale aerial intrusions were to test the AD systems and gather intelligence. Forensic examination of the drone debris is being undertaken. Preliminary reports suggest them to be of Aziz Guard Songa drone of Turkey. Later in the night, an armed UAV of Pakistan attempted to target Bhatinda military station, which was detected and neutralized. In response to the Pakistani attack, armed drones were launched at 4 air defense sites in Pakistan. One of the drones was able to destroy an AD radar. Pakistan also carried out artillery shelling across the line of control using heavy caliber artillery guns and armed drones at Tangdhar, Uri, Poonch, Mendhar, Rajouri, Akhnur, and Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir area, which resulted in some losses and injuries to Indian Army personnel. Pakistan Army also suffered major losses in Indian retaliatory fire. Additionally, Pakistan's irresponsible behavior again came to fore. Pakistan did not close its civil airspace despite it launching a failed unprovoked drone and missile attack on 7th May at 8:30 hours in the evening. Pakistan is using civil airliners as a shield, knowing fully well that its attack on India would elicit a swift air defense response. This is not safe for the unsuspecting civil airliners, including the international flights, which were flying near IB between India and Pakistan. The screenshot we just showed and we shall share with you, it shows the data of the application Flight Radar 24 during a high air defense alert situation in the Punjab sector. As you have seen, the airspace on the Indian side is absolutely devoid of civil air traffic due to our declared closure. However, there are civil airlines flying the air route between Karachi and Lahore. Amongst the other civil aircraft that you can see, we have highlighted an aircraft which is Airbus 320 of Flynas Aviation, which was originated from Dammam at 1750 hours and landed later at Lahore at 2110 hours in the night. Indian Air Force demonstrated considerable restraint in its response, thus ensuring safety of international civil carrier.
Thank you, Colonel Qureshi, Wing Commander Singh. I have just a few points to share in addition. कल रात की पाकिस्तानी सेना की कायरतापूर्ण गतिविधियों से आपको कर्नल कुरैशी और विंग कमांडर सिंह ने पहले ही अवगत करा दिया गया है. These provocative and escalatory actions that were taken by Pakistan last night were targeted at Indian cities and civilian infrastructure, in addition to some military targets. The Indian Armed Forces responded proportionately, adequately, and responsibly. ये जो हमले हुए कल रात को भारतीय सैन्य इकाइयों ने पर्याप्त रूप से और एक जिम्मेदाराना रुख अपनाते हुए इन हरकतों का उत्तर दिया. What I want to underline is that the official and blatantly farcical denial of these attacks that Pakistan carried out by the Pakistani state machinery is yet another example of their duplicity and the new depths that they are plumbing in their quest for disinformation. The other point in the same vein is Pakistani claims that they did not target or attack any religious places. You would recall that yesterday I shared with you an incident related to the attack on a Gurdwara in Punch. Instead of owning up to these attacks, Pakistan made the preposterous and outrageous claim that it was the Indian Armed Forces and the Indian Air Force that was targeting cities like Amritsar and trying to put the blame on Pakistan. This is nothing but a desperate attempt by Pakistan to disown its acts of aggression, but it is also true to type in its effort to deceive and mislead the world. It will not succeed. The Gurdwara in Punch in particular was attacked by Pakistan, and some local members of the Sikh community, including the Ragi of the Gurdwara, lost their lives in this incident, as I shared yesterday. TV पर आप इस हमले के चित्र देख सकते हैं. In addition, that we would attack our own cities is the kind of deranged fantasy that only the Pakistani state can come up with. Perhaps they do it because they are well versed in such action, as their history would show. The last point I wanted to make this evening is again this disinformation that is coming from Pakistan about India targeting the Nankana Sahib Gurdwara through a drone attack. This is again yet another blatant lie and part of Pakistan's disinformation campaign. As we saw in the Pahalgam attack, Pakistan is again trying desperately to impart a communal hue to the situation with an intention to create discord. Again, we are not surprised. India's steadfast unity in itself is a challenge to Pakistan. Let me stop there. I have time only for a few questions and be happy to try and answer them.
First, I call Siddhant. Siddhant, please.
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from Beyond. So this is
Siddhant, behind, please.
The other Siddhant.
yes. Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, I only want to know from you the status of Kartarpur corridor. Is it open or not? If you can.
I think you're all aware of the situation along the entire India-Pakistan border and the areas around the line of control. In view of the existing security scenario, the services of the Kartarpur Sahib corridor have been suspended till further directions. We'll update you as and when there is a change in the situation.
You have a question here, Rishabh?
So, good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So, you spoke about religious places being hit in Jammu. There's another religious place, which is a Carmelite nun church that has been hit. What do you have to say about it, if you can explain that to us?
Yeah, actually, we do have some information about this extremely regrettable and condemnable incident. During heavy shelling across the line of control in the early morning of 7th May, a shell fired from Pakistan landed just behind the Christ School run by the Carmelites of Mary Immaculate congregation in Puj. Tragically, the shell fired from Pakistan hit the home of 2 students of the Christ School. Both students unfortunately lost their lives and their parents were severely injured. Another Pakistani shell struck a Christian convent of nuns belonging to the congregation of the Mother of Carmel, damaging water tanks and destroying solar panel infrastructure. Several priests, nuns, school staff, and local residents took refuge in an underground hall beneath the Christ School during the shelling by Pakistan. The school happened to be closed at the time, fortunately. Otherwise, more losses would have occurred. Again, we have seen the Pakistani side targeting and shelling places of worship with a particular design. This includes gurdwaras, these convents and temples. This is a new low even for Pakistan.
You have a question here, Frank?
सर प्रणय उपाध्याय अमर उजाला से। सर कल आपने इसी पोडियम से पाकिस्तान के आईएमएफ बेलआउट को लेकर और इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को लेकर जो टिप्पणी की थी उसकी पाकिस्तान में काफी तीखी प्रतिक्रिया भी आई और उसके बाद हमने देखा कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से किस तरीके से लेह से लेकर भुज तक पूरी बॉर्डर के ऊपर जो इन्वेजन था वो किया गया। मौजूदा सिचुएशन के अंदर पाकिस्तान के बेलआउट पैकेज को लेकर और पाकिस्तान के इन अटेम्प्ट्स को लेकर आपका क्या असेसमेंट है? और दूसरा ये भी जानना चाहेंगे कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से ये जो अटेम्प्ट किया गया था उसका भारत ने अभी तक उस तरीके का कोई जवाब नहीं दिया गया है, तो क्या भारत इसका जवाब देगा जो कार्रवाई हुई है बीते 24 घंटों में?
देखिए प्रणय, जहां तक इंडस वाटर्स ट्रीटी का सवाल है, मैंने कल विस्तार से उसके बारे में इसकी चर्चा की है। इंडस वाटर्स ट्रीटी इज इन अबेयंस and as such I have nothing further to add to the decision that was announced by the cabinet committee on security. जहां तक IMF bailout का सवाल है, आपको ज्ञान होगा कि IMF की आज मीटिंग हो रही है। हम वहां पे अपना पक्ष रखेंगे और जो हमारा मत है इन चीजों को लेके वहां पे साझा करेंगे दूसरे मेंबर्स के साथ। ये बोर्ड पे निर्भर है कि वहां पे क्या निर्णय होता है। और जहां तक जो कार्रवाई हुई है उसका जवाब देने का जो आपने जो प्रश्न उठाया है, जो आज ब्रीफिंग हुई है, जो आपको सूचना मिली है, मैंने भी कहा है कि जो आज सवेरे तड़के सवेरे जो गतिविधियां हुई, भारत ने उनका एक जिम्मेदाराना पूर्ण तरीके से और एक पर्याप्त तरीके से उसका जवाब दे दिया है।
सिद्धांत।
Hi, sir. Siddhant from Vion. Sir, the External Affairs Minister has spoken to many of his counterparts around the world. Yesterday, he spoke to the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So, what were the key areas of conversations during that call?
Yes, the minister had a conversation with the U.S. Secretary of State. As you can imagine, the focus of discussions was the terrorist attack in Pahalgam and the response that India mounted after that on the 7th of May. The Secretary of State shared his thoughts on these developments with the minister. The minister deeply appreciated the US's commitment to work with India in the fight against terrorism. And he also underlined the targeted measures that India had taken in connection with Op Sindoor. The minister also underlined that India would firmly counter any attempts at escalation from there. But in follow-up to that, as you are aware, there have been a number of other conversations. The minister had a conversation with the UK Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, today. There too, the discussion centered around countering terrorism, for which there must be zero tolerance. And I understand just a short while ago, the External Affairs Minister has also spoken to the Foreign Minister of Norway, Espen Barth Eide, which was also focused on recent developments stemming from the terrorist act in Pahalgam.
One last question, Sudhi.
So, Foreign Secretary, thank you for doing this. Sudhi Ranjan from Bloomberg. Foreign Secretary, India had struck Bahawalpur the other day, which is also connected with the murder of one of us, journalist Daniel Pearl. If you could give us an understanding of what exactly are the reports that you're getting.
Well, you're right. Bahawalpur is the headquarters of the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist group that is proscribed by the United Nations. Its leader, Maulana Masood Azhar, is a proscribed individual. It is, you brought up the connection with the tragic death or killing of Daniel Pearl of the Wall Street Journal. The Jaish-e-Mohammed was in some way directly or indirectly responsible for the death of Daniel Pearl. But the real connection is through Ahmed Omar Saeed Sheikh, the British Pakistani jihadi who was held in India, but was finally released in 2000, and he was the person who lured Daniel Pearl to his eventually leading to his murder. So these are all obviously connected figures, connected individuals, connected institutions, and the attack on Bahawalpur, on that facility of the Jaish-e-Mohammed in Bahawalpur is, I would imagine, a fitting part of this unfortunate incident. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. With that, we come to the closure of this press briefing. Thank you very much.